So, interestingly enough, some guy named Michael on Sylnation, he uh, he said canon don't matter. He said, we are in the Snyderverse, and this movie is coming from the Snyderverse, and canon don't matter. Blue and black suit don't matter. I was like, what? Now, I haven't talked about this too much because really, I'm probably not going to go see Black Adam. Like I said before, if they put in their trailers, they put in their trailers um, something with the Snyder Cut in one of their trailers, then it means there's a shift in direction, there's a shift in tone. So that happens, of course. Um, because that blooper that happened, I take that very seriously. And canon, of course, canon is important. All right. The Superman. Now they say that the Superman that's coming in Black Adam has a Man of Steel suit. I'm gonna say this because that's very specific. It's not the BVS suit, right? He's not. He doesn't even have the look of the BVS look. Maybe he has the you know, curly hair from Man of Steel. It could be that. You remember, it was 2 years between Man of Steel and the events that happened in BVS. So it's very possible that within those 2 years, Superman is a Man of Steel outfit, apparently, and he's going around doing different things. So this could be Black Adam meeting Superman before the Justice League, which would make sense. Then he would be wearing the blue suit. So this could be a sort of a history story. Here's the problem with that story, though. They put in Amanda Waller in there, and Amanda Waller wasn't in the status that she's in. She's talking to the Justice Society of America. She wasn't up and popping like that, you know, in Argus, with her own task force until after Superman died. So there'll still be a problem with continuity there. Um, so when they're saying it suit don't matter, we all know, and I just posted it up that what Zack Snyder said. And people are saying, well, Zack Snyder would change his mind. No, that's a Superman arc. That's Superman's arc. There's a reason why he has the black suit in this arc, and it's supposed to be a delineator. So let me just make it a little bit clearer for people. When he turns evil because of the anti-life equation and being under the influence of dark side, he's going to go back to the blue suit, right? Now, mind you, there's a couple things about this that are important. One is that the events that take place with evil Superman, remember, they will not exist when Flash turns back time. Okay, and one of the things people need to understand is it's not that Zack Snyder's going to redo the nightmare scene and stuff, because in BVS it foreshadowed that Zack Snyder's going to have a different sort of script, sort of like to that, a variation of it. Okay, and that's what a lot of people don't understand, because he's going to keep connective tissue to BVS. So it's very important that Superman has that blue suit when he turns evil. But remember, Batman's going to try and undo the events of BVS, right? Undo those post-apocalyptic events by having Flash run through time. So what may happen is Superman may be in the black suit, and then he may transition into the blue suit uh, after those events are reversed. Okay, and then we have the fight against Darkseid. So it's very possible that Superman puts on the blue suit when he's now fighting for Earth and leading out, the defenders of Earth against Darkseid in this great war with so many different players. All right, so he takes back on the mantle of Superman, but Zach wants to flush it out so he can explain that. So can maybe the events of what happens after Justice League 3 uh, uh, can they pick up from there? Is the Black Adam going to pick up from at the end of Justice League 3? It's possible. That's where Superman would have the blue suit, right? Um, uh, so it's possible, but he wouldn't. Would he have the Man of Steel suit? That's the question. Would he have the Man of Steel suit at that point? Or is it the BVS suit? I don't know. So maybe Superman may have a whole different blue and red suit. So it's either way in the future or way in the past. Superman could be wearing the blue and red suit. Okay. Um, Me personally, it could be possible that's in the future because JSA, the fact that they're even using JSA would mean JSA probably not part of the Justice League yet, but they could connect it to the Justice League. So if they do it way in the future, the thing about it is now they kind of strap down what Superman suit would be. It means he would return to the Kryptonian wear that he was wearing at the very beginning, which would close the loop. So it's very possible that they could do that. That's workable. That is workable. Like people said, the timeline. But I'm gonna say, so it could be in the future. But why would you go back to a suit? Why would you go back to the Man of Steel suit? That's the question. Or maybe that's how Zach won. So we don't know. But I can say that if they're doing this Black Adam movie with Superman, you know, right after Justice League, Zack Snyder Justice League Part One, then it's got to be a black suit. You know, but uh, if it's if it's if it's before those events, before Superman dies in BVS, before Superman changes his suit in BVS, then it would be the blue and red suit, and particularly the Man of Steel. They're very specific about that, I thought, and so I'm saying to myself, why are they using the Man of Steel suit unless we're dealing with the Man of Steel Superman? Going into BVS, and he somehow meets up with Black Adam, which would lead us to the question: why didn't Superman try to tell anybody about Black Adam? Well, we don't know. We'll find out. So it's very possible that, and they specifically said Man of Steel suit. Maybe that Black Adam. You know what? Now I think about it. Now that I think about it, this is what's happening. I think it is the period of time between Man of Steel and BVS that Black Adam will meet Superman. That is the only time when Superman is not in the scene, right? It can't be during BVS because Superman's under serious problems with the world, and he dies. And it can't be between BVS and Justice League because Superman's dead. So it has to be that this Black Adam movie is going to meet Superman, and it would after, I believe it's after BVS, if they're going to because Black Adam we're talking about Superman before BVS, but after Man of Steel. That's what's happening. That's why it's the blue and red suit. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I can see that. So okay, okay, cool, cool. So canon is still going to be kept, but it's like a piece of the story of Superman that we didn't get. Because here's a great question: why did Superman go from the Man of Steel suit to the BVS suit? So it's kind of interesting. It's actually interesting what they just said. Now, when I heard the dialogue in Black Adam, it's still cringy, and they still haven't explained why Black Adam is considered to be before villains and heroes. The world of villains and heroes. Right before that time, he existed and had one power. I don't understand that. That cannot be explained. So there's a bunch of things that still don't make any sense. If they're using the John Williams theme, that would be stupid because if you're trying to keep a continuity, in my opinion, between now, let me say something though. Maybe I should. Maybe I should because that might egg them on. But what I would say is the Hans Zimmer Junkie XL Superman theme is just good enough. I hope they stay with that. I'll talk about that some other time. But right now, that's the theme that they should stay with. But I would say that yeah, when he, that makes sense because if Black Adam is just to be pitted against Superman, if Black Adam just wants to go up against Superman, not the Justice League necessarily, then that's a good time frame to do it, right? Where Superman, those 2 years after the Ground Zero event, Superman's doing what he's doing, and Black Adam encounters him. That would make sense. That does make sense. Um, that's probably what's going to happen. I mean, cool. Because I was thinking, why are you not using the black suit? Maybe this is the reason. I'm saying maybe. I'm not going to watch the movie to find out unless they connect this movie in some way, shape, or form to the Snyderverse. Why I'm saying this, Snyder Cut. The reason is because they pulled from Justice League with Steppenwolf, right? Hang on, the trailer's confusing as well because they pulled from Superman and BVS. You'll recall. They pulled from Superman and BVS. They pulled from Superman with the BVS suit, not the Man of Steel suit. They pulled from Batman and BVS. They pulled from Wonder Woman and BVS. So say about that. Um, I don't know what to say about that. They pulled initially they pulled Steppenwolf from the Justice League 2017 movie. So I'm not really sure. The trailer's kind of confusing in that respect. How they're jumping around. Um, if Superman's in Man of Steel, why are we talking about these heroes? Why are we talking about Batman? We shouldn't be talking about Batman. We shouldn't be talking about Wonder Woman, right? So I get the feeling that Man of Steel suit then. They could make it fit though. They can make it fit if they want to use the blue and red suit. Forget the trailers and everything. Kind of have to discard the trailers. They can make Superman, Man of Steel Superman fit that story. That means Superman has not met Batman yet, or Wonder Woman, which would make sense because now the trailer would make sense. Let me explain what I mean. When they said, that Black Adam, before there were heroes and villains, I think they mean superheroes and supervillains, right? I guess before Superman came on the scene, because Wonder Woman was there all the time. So I think what they mean is before these modern heroes and villains. That's the way sort of phrase it. Because it was a great war back in the Great War back in 5,000 years ago. You know, so I think they're trying to say that Black Adam is older than say the known superheroes, the emerging superheroes like Superman and Batman. He's definitely not older than Wonder Woman. He might be. He might be because Wonder Woman was 5,000 years old. He went to sleep 5,000 years ago. He may be older than that. But anyway, the point I'm making is um, he couldn't be ruling the world at that time because we had the Great War and the powers that be. There were many different sections of people and types of people. So he couldn't be ruling the world there. So that can't fit either. But I think, because Black Adam's just going to be mostly about him in Kondo, right? It's not going to be about him in the world. So from that, it can work. It's just that the narrations and the stuff that they add with Amanda Waller, it's kind of whack how they said it, but they can retool it and rework it so that it can work. So they can work that red and blue suit, but the way how I'm listening to the combos like Amanda Waller, you know, bringing the JSA into play, at the if this is at the end of the movie where you meet Superman, Amanda Waller's not around like that. She doesn't have that power and authority at that time. Then when we look at Superman maybe into the distant future, after Justice League 3, why would he be wearing the Man of Steel suit? You see, those things don't click. So to fit it, it's better to just go with a black suit. I don't understand why they can't go with the black suit. Oh, well, Black Adam is wearing a black suit too. So what? So what? His black suit is delineated by a lightning bolt, which you can see from miles away. Superman's black suit has a black, a silver S. It's just totally different. You know, so why can't you have the black suit Superman? What was their problem with black suit? So I don't understand it. Like there's things in that trailer that just don't add up. They're like all over the place. Um, Anyways, I will not be watching the movie. I'll hear about it. I saw Michael also trying to push for the, to galvanize supposedly Snyder fans and other DC fans to watch the movie so that it doesn't bust. I don't know why he's so fervently doing that, while just regarding canon. But what I can say is that, those kinds of guys, they made up their mind and picked a side, and that's it. For me, I just want truth. I just want Warner Brothers to speak the truth. And the way how they're moving and the way how Cylinder they're talking, you know, I want the truth. I don't want to be set up. Okay, and that's basically it. You know, I'm not really impressed with the movie, to be honest with you. The dialogue in it is clunky. They try. The other thing I noticed in this movie is the dialogue's literally a rip off of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Barry talking to Bruce Wayne, and then you see Adam Smasher, and he's saying, "Oh, I almost, glad I didn't damage you," with some kind of stupid thing. It's just clunky dialogue. It just really is not cool. And it's just the stuff I don't like. And I just hope the Snyder fans who are hyped for this movie, when they see it, they're not let down by it. Because, quite frankly, I know there's going to be some clunky language in there. It's like Batgirl all over again. It's like the CW all over again. Because it's Jeff Johns who did the writing. So it's going to be clunky. It's just, oh my God. I hope, and is it that really true that Superman, he spilled some coffee on himself? And that's why he stuff. That's not. Anyways, man, whatever. All I know is I'm not watching. I don't think this movie's for me. I don't think I'm going to enjoy it. I think me and Damien have some differences in flames. We're going to get mad, just like we wanted with 84. Damien was mad. I was laughing all the time. I don't need it. You don't need that. So, better we just don't do it. Spare ourselves just the stress of watching it. So I'm pretty much not watching it. I think it's another Hamada burger. Assuming it's not the best, get a decent fan. Kurt, go check out DC movies. I get it. But it ain't my cup of tea. I'm pretty sure about it. Pretty sure it's good. I hope you see it, enjoy it. But I need that to tell me if I want to watch it. I'm going to be honest with you, I have to. I think a lot of people have. Myself probably wondering why we're so we're so set in what we do. Remember, it was a DC fandom or something. Maybe it was last year, I can't remember what year it was. And the DC fandom still was trying to encourage us. Like you said, you come down to DC fandom, you can hear effect and stuff, and he was like, nah, he ain't right. I think we are right this time. We're not fighting for Black Adam, Kool-Aid, Extra, yes, it's things, but Black Adam is part of the thing. That's what we have to say. There's too many things that just don't line up. And Snyder Cut's not canon for that reason. I'll tell you that for a fact. There's too many things that are out of alignment. You know, for those people who want to see Henry Cavill come back and when they come forward, Black Panther, good for them. I am not interested in just seeing people come back. I want to see tone, new things. I want to make sure that it lines up with what they claim. It lines up with it. He still said it is part of the Snyderverse timeline. So let's see. Hopefully it is. James Gunn. He said James Gunn is part of the Snyderverse timeline. Suicide Squad. Oh my God. So I'm just saying that I'm not really excited. Dwayne the Rock Johnson for removing that clip. He didn't replace. Easy to replace that clip. Easy to replace that clip with one from Zack Snyder Justice League. Don't tell me that Warner Brothers don't have access to that. So I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. And some of y'all gonna be very disappointed when you go and watch that movie because some of y'all will be like, yeah, I'm so kind of crazy. Some of y'all gonna find it like the same, it's like the same narrative, just y'all have gone like sad. Am I gonna hop on this? This is the last time I'm gonna talk about Black Adam. I'm gonna be busy talking about the Snyder Cut and Air Cut. But I just like to put the truth out there, uh, you know, and also my thoughts on this. There's too many things, too many moving parts there for us to think. But I don't know why they specifically said the Man of Steel suit. So maybe people will have to go see the movie and from that, they will be able to give judgment about it. That's what always my quality first. So hopefully they get quality with that movie. I'm hoping, as I said before, I hope this movie succeeds. I don't have a problem with it succeeding. Um, but I will not be a part of that. I will not be a part of that process. I do not. I'm not convinced. And all they have to do, see, this is the thing. I don't understand. To convince the doubtful, why don't you just put some part of the Snyder Cut or clarify what timeline this movie's in? You know what I mean? Clarify. Don't leave the fans hanging. Clarify yourself. But if you can't clarify yourself, then we have to take it by default that you are following the Justice League timeline and you made a mistake, a Freudian slip, and put it out there, and you didn't expect an eagle-eyed fan to see it. Because this is an Hamada production. This dude was doing this film under Hamada, and there were changes done to the film, no doubt about it. But is it enough? And you know what's the weird thing? The changes are so minimal. It's a little bit of dialogue from Amanda Waller that needs to be changed. It's hopefully she can talk more on that. But it's the suit of Henry Cavill that it's accurate to the timeline, whether it's the Snyderverse timeline, whether it's Zack Snyder Justice League cut. I mean, listen, if it's after Zack Snyder Justice League, don't go with the blue suit. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let that do the honors of that going blue. Just do that. Focus on that. Otherwise, I'm not trying to hate on nobody. People out there, they're not vocalizing themselves, but I see them on Twitter. A lot of people, who, if Warner Brothers wants to do well with this movie, all you got to do is give them assurances. Very simple stuff. Clarify the timeline. Clarify if this thing is following after the Snyder Cut. It's trying to follow. David F. Sandberg did that. He got screwed over for the, like I said, he got screwed over with the Headless Superman. But for the most part, he stays very true to Zack Snyder's timeline. You know, BVS and Zack Snyder's Justice League. But that's not the case with Black Adam. Black Adam is not showing us, hey man, I'm aligned with Zack Snyder's Justice League. So if this movie is after Zack Snyder's Justice League timeline, right? Remember, Cavill's coming at the end of the movie. Now, again, it will work well if Cavill, if Cavill is, if Cavill is, he's in the Man of Steel place, which would have been 2013. So this movie's happening in 2013, for example. Then that would be good because here's the thing. It would just be him. There would have been no Justice League, right? So The Rock could pit himself against. The only problem with that is, when are they going to clash, right? When are they going to meet each other? So if Shazam ends up facing Superman, we don't want it to be way in the past, and then it takes many years before they meet up again. So there's all of that is interesting. So I believe that this movie's happening after Zack Snyder's Justice League, and not after Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3, but after Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's what I believe. Um, which, if you're gonna do that, put him in the black suit. All right. If it's gonna do that, put him in the black suit. You know, and that will solve everything. It's that simple. Put him in the black suit and give him the Zack Snyder, give him the Hans Zimmer theme if there's gonna be a theme, and that'll be that. It's really that simple. But if he's in the Man of Steel suit with curly hair, 'cause that's how he was in Man of Steel, then it means that they are that kind of meets him between Man of Steel and BVS. Anyways, that's what my thoughts on that movie. I don't think I'm going to talk too much more about it. I have other things to do. I think I have a post to do up in Facebook, and then that's it. So I'm gonna catch you guys later. I am Christ Am Disciple. Peace and out. Oh, and Canon does matter.